Good to see you back. And we may have hardly 30 minutes in this meeting. I would close out the technical portions here, and probably anything other we can discuss to hangout call regarding the other things like your availability, next session, all that stuff. Right now, can you please share me quickly? I think you should have access now to your current semester course contents. So could you share me what topics you really need to learn, or maybe which are related to programming?
Do you have the course syllabus? I haven't really. Sorry. Oh no. No, is it learning incomes and outcomes?
Okay, so meanwhile, if it takes you a while, we can do it after the session. Right now, just want to know, like, are you going to learn data structures and algorithms?
Yeah, data structure, C++, and then a recursion and like binary search. We're doing most stuff in Linux.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was like the main what you went over today.
Okay. Well, we'll start with the fundamentals, which are common for those in this session. And the next session onwards, anyway, I already created that brochure as per the contents. However, I will have to double check to make sure you don't miss anything what you were asked in the exam and then the interviews. All right, so let me share screen and then, are there any questions?
Mm.
No, okay. This is a funny drawing, at least to start with. And this gives you some, involvement on how to play with these kind of diagrams. Have you done that already in your
Like making patterns?
Yes.
Yeah, that was for one of our assignments in C.
Okay, so you already know about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So then why don't you just tell me your thought process to display like this? Maybe at least we'll start with this pattern, first one.
How I would approach it is since it's after each iteration, one star is adding. So
Okay.
that would basically be my thought process of starting it. And
Yeah.
after each for loop that
Yeah.
you would
So
add.
can we do it in one for loop, or do we need two for loops?
We need more than one.
Why?
Because after each it's changing.
Yeah, what is the pattern in so you are in correct direction, but I need to know more. What is the pattern here? Like, say, like one for loop will give you number of lines required. If I need 10 lines, I need to run index from 1 to 10 or 0 to 10 without equal. So we need to run a for loop 10 times. That is the outer for loop to print next line after displaying a pattern. And in each iteration, we need one more loop to incrementally print stars. Okay. So now let's do it right from scratch. This is just a reference code. I can do it for you right from scratch here. Print one loop. It is a sample to give you idea. So if you take this, I don't need anything here. I just need to print star. I didn't include it, but I could. It looks easy, but we usually forget. And remaining code, I want to stop printing all this to avoid the noise. Let's run it. Awesome. So we are printing one star with one loop. Okay, leave all this. What is happening? I'm running index from 1 to 10 and printing the same thing 10 times. But if I need to increase this, or maybe I can print a square, probably by avoiding L. You see here? This is where my classmates, when I was a developer, my classmates, didn't like me because I always copy paste the content most of the time to save time. So they don't like it. They want me to type. Anyway, so see, here we got this. What? Without new line, I'm printing 10 times side by side. Are you clear with this? For you, I can display once. This is the one. Now, I just added new line to separate this output from here. If I want to display the same once again, I can simply copy paste and do this. What will happen? I will get it 2 times. You understand the code so far? These are 2 for loops, but side by side. They are not nested. But if I need third row, what should I do? I should copy paste this code 3 times. And fourth row, 4 times. But if I need as per user request, if user enters a number, then how can we make it automated? That's where we need to have another variable counter, which will run. This code is repeating every time. What is missing here? The repetition. Number of repetitions are dynamic, say like. Then how can we do that? So 4 times I need to display. This is easy way. 4 times copy paste a for loop. Or a hard way, or maybe more smart, intelligent way is put this inside another loop. For int count equal to 0, count less than or equal to 10. If it is equals to, then we can put 1. Otherwise, we can put 0. Count plus plus. And repeat this. Are you clear? Just I added count, but I'm not doing anything with this variable. But I'm repeating this code multiple times. So we need to display 4 times. Just add a 4. Same output, but the number of lines of code has been reduced and it is automated. If I add like 18 times, it displays me a rectangle with 18 rows. Probably how it looks like. Output is very hard, so I can put 8. Are you clear? That's the advantage of using outer for loop. So you can do with minimum 2 for loops. One is needed to count number of rows. Another is to manipulate the interior part. Now for the patterns, it is pretty easy. Here, rather than adding 10 always, you just add the count value. So when count is 1, you will get 1 star. When count is 2, second iteration, it will run 2 times. See, this is very, very important. That's it. A small change there. Fixed has become variable. This is very important to understand data structure concepts related to arrays, trees, everything. Because any data structure involves with this concept, 2 for loops, minimum nesting of loops, especially searching and sorting. Data structure, more advanced concepts involve with 2 for loops in combination of recursion. Recursion fundamentals are already known to you. Now, mixing recursion with this 1 or 2 for loops increase your confidence while learning data structures. Otherwise, data structures will become a nightmare to the students. That's why this is the fundamental before we start our data structures concepts. Any doubts on this? No? But to make much more clarity, I would like to add, because the arrays are all about this only, right? I would like to print instead of star. J. What happens? What would be the output if I print J instead of star? Bhavya, you were on mute. If you are saying anything.
Would it print the numbers?
Yes, that's correct. But what number will be printed? What numbers? Just think, what is J value initially? 1.
It just be in ascending order.
Yeah, so just guess. Keep guessing. Initially, J is 1. After that,
It'd be like 1, 2.
we need to do a dry run here. Yes. So when count is 2, J will restart from 1, iterate over, right? Just think. You have already done in your academic, right? So let me put it for you. First, I'll display the output and then explain through debugger. Super. That's this. Yeah. But if I add handle, what is happening? It is displaying line by line. At first iteration, 1 has been printing, and then 1 and 2. Why? Because I will even give you much more clarity here. This is the exactly I want you to understand. Outer for loop value was 1. When it was 1, inner for loop has run 1 time. Here count is outer value, 1. Inner for loop is, inner is 1. Now when count is 2, J has become, okay, I'll give you space here. Clarity instead of J, I would say inner value. Okay. So if you see, count was 1, where the inner value was 1. It has iterated 1 time. Count was 2, because after the loops, count has increased to 2. When it is 2, the inner has executed 2 times. You understand? 1 and then 2. Even I can make it more understandable like this. Whenever count is changing, then only I will print it. Okay, after this. This is the understanding you should have to master data structures. Data structures is all about loops, recursion right now. With this, you will add other patterns. I wish I should have taught you before, but we didn't have enough time because of exams. But now this is important. Even in your first sem also, you should have learned like this. Okay, let's do now. Okay, so count was, okay, I'll put a slash n here. Oh, ideally, I shouldn't remove that, but that's okay. Yeah, this is what. Count was 1. Inner has run 1 time. And when the count has become 2, inner has run. Inner, see here, it is important. Always for every iteration, increment of count, that means outer value, this is restarting from 1. This value resets back to 1 whenever this outer loop is increasing. So when the count was 1, the condition was 1 less than or equal to 1. If it is true, print. After that, inner will become 2. But count was 1. So 2 is less than or equal to 1. Condition was false. So it will come out. Once it will come out, it will increment counter from 1 to 2. When counter is 2, it prints this value that is here. After that, it will reset from 1. This is the point you should catch. Never forget that. What is the point? Give me a second.
Resets from 1.
Hello. Sorry. Whenever count is increasing, inner will reset. This is the blind rule we should understand to master programming. Everything inside this loop will be repeatedly happening for every increment of outer loop. If you remember this, you can understand this very well. See here. Counter was 1, inner was 1. When counter has become 2, inner starts from 1 and then incremented till 2. Similarly, when count was 3, again 1, 2, 3. Similarly, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, same. And repeat until the number of times count has been increasing. Any doubts? That's it. If you understand this, we are very much good with any kind of patterns. Okay? But to tweak our mind a little further, let's continue this with what alignments, which we were doing here. Print left. Here, count means I here. I is running 10 times. J is running 10 times. But we have added a condition here. If J is less than or equal to I, print 1. Print star. Otherwise, print space. This is just adding a condition. We can still use this code, and because you are already familiar with it. I'm going to remove now inner because you are very clear with this. I'll directly print inner. And count also, for now, I'll keep count like this. You're familiar with this, right? 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Good. Now I'm going to remove inner and print stars. You are also familiar with it because you have seen already. Now I'm going to remove this. We need to print new line after each row. That's it. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rather than integer, I'm printing star, or sometimes People may want to print a hash string. Sorry, hash. It doesn't matter, right? You know, 2 loops are needed. One is to run the number of times it should run. Second one is to run, reset each time, and then run for each counter. Now, how do you reverse this? How do we reverse? We need to print space. If I want to reverse it, there are 2 ways to reverse, but one way is, see how many, when count is 1, I'm printing 1. But this time I want to do it reverse way. When count is 1, I need to print 7 stars. Sorry, 7, whatever, anything. 7 stars. How can I do that? Inner loop should run 7 times when count is 1. And it should reverse. So if I need to print this at first row, what I should do is very simple thing. Start inner from count. Now what will be the, sorry, start inner from the maximum value, 8. This is the maximum value. So start inner from the maximum value, and I should make sure it should always be greater than count. And plus plus will be minus minus. So what I'm doing, I'm simply reversing this condition from increment to decrement. That's it. Okay. What happens? Every time inner will start from 8, but ends at, in the first iteration, 7. Means 7 stars will be printed. In the second iteration, it will end at 2. Sorry, first 6 stars will be printed. The difference between 8 and it is very important to remember. Count was initially 1, but inner was 8. 8 greater than 1. True or false? True. When it is true, we are reducing that value. After printing, print star, and reduce it to 7. So the inner becomes 7. If it is 7, 7 less than or equal to 1. Okay, I understand. I need to run debugger to help you out. This is very important, reversing. First one was simple, right? Just do what it was. But this is reverse. Sure, what's happening? Oh, something wrong. Sorry about it. But did you catch this? Okay. If you can't understand, you can run it. My debugger is not working. Otherwise, I have explained you, right? So simply print this, and also here instead of star, print inner. This is the way to understand others' code in your company also. If you don't understand, just run it through print statements. That's it. So what is happening? When count was 1, inner is running from 8 to 1. When count becomes 2, inner is running from 8 to 8 minus 2. Until that counter, 2. So 8 to 2. It's like driving. Google is reducing our speed, our distance, right? When we start driving from our location to destination, as we move forward in the vehicle, the Google is reducing the count, right? That is what exactly happening. This is source, destination is, so I mean, this is destination. Source distance has reduced from 1 to 2. Map one pointer 1 to 2, maybe 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers. Same thing here, 3 to 8. It's catching up like that. Same for 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 6, 8 to 7. And when both are same, it ends there by printing the last star. You got it. But what is really changing here? The assignment. The assignment is changing. It is fixed. Earlier it was 1. Now it has become 8. And here less than has become greater than counter. That's the reversing. And finally, since it is maximum value, we need to reduce that maximum towards minimum value. Was it your understanding when you did this during your assignments? Okay, then am I repeating the same? Am I repeating the same?
No, I think I understood it better.
Okay, now how about this one? Adding one condition there. How to print this one? Like pattern 4, take. It is exactly same as first program, but we need to print spaces as well, right? We need to print spaces. So see here, or maybe here, every iteration, space is increasing means star is decreasing, or vice versa here. Spaces are 7, but star is 1. Spaces are 6, 2 stars, 5, 3 stars, and continued. So what do you need? You need to tweak here a bit more. In our first program itself, we can do that. But what we need to do is we need to add a condition here. The condition is like this. This is the condition. If j is less than or equal to I, print star, else print space. This condition should be removed here. Here we need to fix it. It's fixed now. You should always run 8 to 1. Are you clear? What will be printed now? I'll reset back for you. Now what will be the output? I'm running it from 1 to 8 and running this as well from 1 to 8. What will be the output? Come on. Both are running 1 to 8 and 1 to 8. There is no logic here. Then how many stars will print here? How many stars will print only with this part? Just guess. What is the inner value first? 1. And 1 less than or equal to 8. How many times this loop is running?
8
Come on.
times?
1. Oh, sorry. Here it should be plus plus. My bad. Now it makes sense, right? 1 1 less than or equal to 8, true. Print and increment 2, 2 less than or equal to 8, print and increment 3, 3 less than or equal to 8, print, increment. So how many times it will run like that?
8 times.
8 times. So how many stars will be printed here?
8.
8 stars. And how many times it is running? 1 to 8. 8 into 8. How many stars will be printed? 8 into 8.
64.
64. In how many rows?
8.
Because we are having new line here. New line after each iteration. So 64 stars will be printed in 8 rows. It is going to be 8 by 8 rectangle square. See, if you make any mistake, nothing goes wrong. But we should keep trying it. Okay, let's run it. Oh, I don't need this. Got it? 8 by 8. Now, what is our goal? We need to split it by half, right? Incrementally, like this. We need to do like this. Am I right? I need to have 1 star in 1 row. In the second row, I need to have 2 stars. But they should be preceded by spaces. So this 64, I want to put a condition here. If I think our call will be gone in 1 minute, but I'll try to put that condition here. This is the condition. This is the condition. Instead of J and I, what we need to do is I is count, J is inner. If you understand this condition, you will master data structures. Oh, it's reversed. I can do this in this manner. That's it. It's another. We can tweak like this as well. I will first display space here and stop. Oh, my bad. Okay. I'm incrementing spaces and stars. Technically, we can do it other way too, but for now, just understand